Finding stillness in the storm, a journey toward inner peace and true love. In the heart of every storm, there is a space untouched by the chaos, a center of calm, a refuge not outside, but within. And if we look deeply, if we learn how to return to this sacred place within ourselves, we will discover something truly transformative. Peace, not as a condition, but as a practice. Not as a reward, but as a way of being. Imagine yourself on a day when everything feels wrong. You've been criticized unfairly, someone has hurt you, or maybe life just feels heavier than usual. You feel your heart race, your breath shorten. The voice inside you whispers, "Why me?" In those moments, we often become prisoners of our thoughts. We replay events, we cling to painful words. And yet, what if we told ourselves this truth? Everything we experience is impermanent. That's where the journey begins. The first step toward inner peace is the realization that nothing, absolutely nothing, is permanent. Not the joy, not the suffering, not the praise, not the criticism. Everything passes, everything changes. That rude word you heard, it's already vanished. That difficult moment you faced, it's no longer here. But our minds, so powerful, yet untrained, replay the pain. We live the moment again and again. We suffer not from the moment itself, but from our attachment to it. To break free from this suffering, we must embrace impermanence. Not just intellectually, but deeply, emotionally, spiritually. When you feel overwhelmed, pause, breathe, ask yourself, will this matter tomorrow? In a year? More often than not, the answer is no. And even if it still matters, the intensity with which it affects you will fade. That's the power of impermanence. It reminds us we don't have to cling to what's already gone. And in that same breath, we're invited to practice something even more powerful: forgiveness. True forgiveness is not weakness. It's not approval. It's liberation. Forgiveness says, I choose peace over pain. I choose freedom over the chains of resentment. When we forgive, we don't change the past, but we change the power it holds over us. We release ourselves from anger's grip. But how do we do this? How do we forgive when the wound still stings? Begin where you are. Acknowledge the hurt. Then recognize that holding on to it only deepens your suffering. Forgive not because they deserve it, but because you do. Because you deserve peace. Because your heart deserves rest. And remember, forgiveness doesn't mean you let someone hurt you again. It means you see them clearly, set healthy boundaries, and choose love, not fear, as your guide.
Now, let us talk about preparation. Just like a soldier trains during peacetime to be ready for battle, we too must train our minds when life is calm, so that when chaos arrives, and it will, we respond with grace, not panic. The most accessible, profound tool you have is your breath. Your breath is your anchor. It is the bridge between body and mind, between reaction and response. When you're anxious, your breath is shallow and fast. When you're calm, it's deep and slow. You can reverse engineer peace by changing how you breathe. Practice this daily. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and simply observe your breath. Inhale gently, exhale slowly. Thoughts will come, and that's okay. Let them float by like clouds in the sky. Bring your attention back to the breath. Just 5 minutes a day can transform how you meet the world. It's not about controlling your thoughts. It's about not letting them control you. In time, you'll find that when difficulties come, you're already rooted in calm. And when you couple this with loving-kindness meditation, your heart begins to expand. You begin to wish well for others, not just friends, but those who've hurt you too. You begin to understand that everyone is suffering in their own way, and that understanding is the seed of compassion. Real compassion is not pity, It's the willingness to be with someone in their pain, to say, I see you, I feel you, and I stand with you. This is also where we begin to understand love. Not the kind of love driven by need, by attachment, by you complete me illusions, but true love. Love that says, I want you to be happy, even if that happiness doesn't include me. True love is expansive, generous, patient. It gives without asking. It nurtures without clinging. Too often, we confuse love with attachment. Attachment says, why aren't you making me happy? It demands, it clings, it hurts. But love says, I want your joy, even if I'm not the source of it. Think of a flower. If you like the flower, you pluck it. If you love it, you water it. True love waters the flower and lets it grow, even if it blooms beyond our reach. So how do we transition from attachment to true love? By practicing inner stillness, by being whole before we give ourselves to others, by realizing that love is not something we seek to receive, it's something we choose to give, and in giving it, we become richer, not poorer. But life won't always return our love. Life won't always go our way. There will be moments that feel deeply unfair, moments where nothing makes sense. What then? First, recognize life is not supposed to be fair. That is not its nature. The problem is not that life is unfair. The problem is that we expect it to be. When we let go of that expectation, we suffer less. Expectations are the birthplace of disappointment. Instead of demanding fairness, learn to accept reality as it is. Ask yourself, is this situation within my control? If yes, act with wisdom. If no, release it. There is no use trying to change what cannot be changed. But what you can always change is your perspective, your thoughts, your attitude. When people criticize you, when they act in ways you don't like, remind yourself their actions are out of your control. But your response is not. Choose kindness. Choose calm. Listen to uplifting voices. Surround yourself with truth. Feed your mind the way you would feed your body, with care. In the end, you cannot stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. You cannot silence the storms, but you can find stillness within them. That stillness becomes your home, your practice, your way. And it begins now, not someday, not when life is perfect, but today, in this moment, one breath at a time, one act of forgiveness, one silent meditation, one kind word. That's how you begin. That's how you change. So as you walk back into your life after reading this, carry this with you. Peace is not given, it is practiced. Love is not possessed, it is offered. Freedom is not found outside, it is created within. You are not broken, you are becoming. You are not lost, you are on a path toward deeper stillness, truer love, and unshakable peace. Let this path be your guide.